Hi, this is Professor Crumpton. Well, it's the end of week 13. There goes my phone. I forgot to turn off before I started. It's the end of week 13, and I want to take a few minutes to talk to you about your research paper. I know several of you have some angst about it, and you're relatively nervous. So here's the first thing I want to tell you. Don't be nervous. I am here for only one reason, and that's for your success. I realized that I told you all that I was going to try to call you, and that was my intention. And then I lost my voice. I got a bug. I had a fever for a little while, but I lost my voice. That was the most stressful part. And so it's put me behind in being able to talk to you individually. And I didn't want to spend any more time because now time is getting even more short, and of course we're coming up on the holiday. I hope that by this time what you are doing with your research paper is putting the finishing touches on it. So let me just draw a brief mental outline for you of where I think you should be and how I'm hoping you've gotten there. And as I go through this mental outline, if there are some pieces that you're unsure about, then send me an email or give me a call so that I can get you back on the right track as quickly as possible. So here's how we started. You started by looking for a topic of interest. And hopefully you narrowed that topic of interest so you have one aspect of it. So for example, if you're looking at workplace discrimination, excuse me, you narrowed it down to what aspect of workplace discrimination you're interested in. And one of the things that you did to help you narrow it down is you did some secondary research. You went and you found some journals, and you discovered some peer-reviewed articles. And those peer-reviewed articles helped you to better identify specifically what you'd like to do research about. And it's necessary that you focus narrowly so that your paper stays focused and that you don't have disjointed ideas that are just somehow randomly strung together. Okay, so you did some secondary research, and that helped you to narrow your topic. And then you found some articles that you wanted that were of keen interest to you, that you realized would help you learn more about your topic. And so you have read those articles. And those articles led you to develop some questions that you can use to conduct primary research. And you will either conduct primary research by doing an interview or by conducting a survey. You certainly could do both if you choose, but you need to do at least one or the other. Now, some students have asked me, how many people do you need to survey if you choose to do the survey method? Well, it depends, has been my answer. Right? 2 people is not enough, and probably somewhere at least about 7 people, I would say, 7 to 10 people. One student said that she had 38 people. That's great, right? The more the better if you're able to get people who can answer your questions. That's great to have primary research. So now how do you put this paper together? So the very first part of your paper should be your introduction, right? You have to give the reader, who's me in this case, but any reader, the background information that's necessary to help me understand what will follow. So you need to give me some basic knowledge about your topic. You need to tell me why you were interested in it. You need to tell me what you're not going to talk about in this paper. That's the scope of your paper. And then as you get into your secondary research, you're going to tell me what you did, right? What journals did you look in? What articles you found. Don't tell me the articles by telling me the name of those. They'll be in the reference list. But you're going to tell me what you learned by the articles that you read. Okay, and you're going to use the proper citations to tell me that. And then you're going to tell me what primary research you did. You're going to tell me about the person you interviewed, if you chose to do that, why you chose that person, what you thought their expertise was going to offer you. If you did a survey, you're going to tell me who you surveyed, why you chose those people to survey, what you thought they would bring. And then you're going to describe your primary research. What did you do and how did you do it? And you're going to tell me what you learned from that. What were your discoveries? What were your findings just from your primary research? And then you're going to go into a section that talks about your findings and combines both what you learned from your articles and what you learned from your primary research. And the way that normally comes out is in your conclusions or recommendations, right? You now say, as a result of what I had previously learned from research that had been conducted, and then what I learned from my primary research, here are my conclusions. Here's the new knowledge that emerged from that. And that's basically it. And then at the end of your paper, you're going to have a reference list that's in APA format, of course. One of your appendix, you may have more than one appendix, but at least one of them will be the questions that you asked either on your interview or the questions that you asked on your survey. You're going to have a cover page on your paper. right? Everything is you're going to make sure everything is proofread. And I want to really stress how important that is, right? To do a credible job on secondary research, but not do a good job to ensure the reader can read your paper would be a disservice primarily to you. So make sure you leave enough time so someone can proofread your paper and you can go back and correct whatever mistakes there may be. And and everything should be in 12-point font. Right? Your papers should be double spaced with the exception of the executive summary, which is the last thing you write. Your executive summary is a summary of each part of your paper. Right? It tells the reader, in a nutshell, here's what this paper is about and here's what I discovered. So I should be able to read the executive summary and then decide if I want to read the rest of your paper. Of course, I'm reading the rest of your paper because I'm grading it. Okay, so I'm hoping that this is helpful. If it is not, you know how to reach me. Please don't hesitate to give me a call or drop me an email. So I'm trying to, I want to spend this weekend getting caught up on grading, but I want you to know I'm available to you. I want to use my time as efficiently and effectively as I encourage you to do. So calling is not probably the most efficient and effective way to use my time. I don't want to call each one of you and bug you if there's no need, but I want you to know that I'm available for you. Please don't hesitate to call me or email me if you need me. I hope you have a great weekend, and I trust you're going to write an outstanding paper.